Okay, how are you? Sorry.
Attachments in here, you can do that.
Okay.
No, this is you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jason Chavez, and I'm the chair of the Committee of the Whole. I'm going to call to order our regular committee meeting for Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. Before we begin the meeting, I want to offer a friendly reminder to all members, staff, and the public that these meetings are broadcast live to enable greater public participation. These broadcasts include real-time captioning as a further method to increase the accessibility of our proceedings to the community. Therefore, all speakers need to be mindful of the rate of their speech so that our captioners can fully capture and transcribe all comments for the broadcast. We ask all speakers to moderate the speed and clarity of their comments. At this time, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll to verify the presence of a quorum.
Councilmember Payne.
Present.
Wansley.
Present.
Rainville.
Present.
Vita.
Present.
Ellison is absent. Osman is absent. Cashman is absent. Jenkins.
Present.
Chicktag.
Present.
Koski.
Present.
Palmisano is absent. Vice Chair Chowdhury is absent. And Chair Chavez.
Present.
There are 8 members present.
Let the record reflect that we have a quorum. First, we are going to begin with receiving reports from standing committees on matters to be considered by the full council. We'll first begin with the Administration and Enterprise Oversight Committee, chaired by Councilmember Wansley.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. The Administration and Enterprise Oversight Committee is bringing forward 14 items. The first is first quarterly 2025 donations made to the City of Minneapolis, value under $15,000. The second is a gift acceptance from the Open Mobility Foundation of travel and lodging expenses for Tim Sexton. 3 is a gift acceptance from American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials for lodging expenses for Tim Sexton. 4 is a gift acceptance from Local Progress for travel and lodging expenses for Council President Elliott Payne. 5 is a contract with Minneapolis Downtown Improvement District for nighttime safety and approving the sponsorship of the 2025 Warehouse District Live events. 6 is a contract amendment with Thomas & Sons Construction, Inc. for the Hennepin Dunwoody Bikeway project. 7 is a contract amendment with CenturyLink Communications, LLC for telecommunication services. 8 is a contract amendment with JPMI Construction Company for a Second Precinct Improvement Project. 9 is a bid for small diameter sanitary pipe cleaning and televising 2025 project. 10 is a bid for liquid chlorine. 11 is a bid for Minneapolis Convention Center snow plowing and removal. 12 is a legal settlement, Stefan Minson v. City of Minneapolis, court file number 27 CV 24 18962. 13 is contracts with various organizations for partnership engagement fund projects. And 14 is a contract amendment with Restoration, Inc. for downtown Minneapolis emergency response services under the Minneapolis Strategic Outreach Initiative. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you. There are no questions. Next up, I'll pass it to the Budget Committee with Vice President Chuck Tai.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Budget Committee is bringing forward one item, which is approving a revised 2025 Budget Committee work plan and approving a legislative directive and staff direction.
Next up, we have there is no one on queue. So next up, we'll go to the Business, Housing, and Zoning Committee, and I'll pass it to Councilmember Rainville.
Thank you, President Payne. Thank you, Chair Chavez. The Biz Committee will be bringing 12 items to Thursday's council meeting. Number 1 is passage of a resolution authorizing 2 land sales to Hennepin County. Number 2 will be a license revocation for Burrito Loco. The tax clearance letter has been received, and I will move to delete this item from the agenda on Thursday. I'll actually ask the chair to delete that item this Thursday. Approving 2 liquor licenses, approving 7 liquor license renewals, passage of an ordinance that corrects zoning codes and clarifies confusing provisions, approving amended guidelines for the Bridge Fund Dance Program, authorizing an extension of exclusive development rights for Sherman Associates, Passage of a resolution approving an amendment to the city's comprehensive plan located at 1501 Johnson Street Northeast. Passage of a resolution approving an amendment to the city's comprehensive plan located at 12th Avenue South. Passage of a resolution approving amendments to the city's comprehensive plan and authorizing CPED to submit plans to the Met Council. Approving the removal of the Phillips Gateway Public Art. Considering a resolution that approves historical designation for the Glendale townhouses. This item was sent forward without recommendation. With that, I'll stand for any comment or questions.
Thank you. I also want to acknowledge that we've been joined by Councilmember Osman and Councilmember Cashman. And with that, we have Councilmember Wanzian-Q.
Thank you, Chair Chavez. I want to speak to item number 14, which is the historic designation item on Glendale Townhomes. Colleagues, I did want to let you all know that at council on Thursday, I will be making a motion to postpone this item for historic designation of Glendale Townhomes for one cycle. In the last few days, several of my colleagues, as well as members of the public, have reached out to my office with questions and concerns that have revealed to me that there is significant misinformation and misunderstanding about what historic designation does and what it does not do, and what it would mean for the future of Glendale. So with that in mind, I do want to ensure that everyone on council has access to accurate information prior to voting on this item. And I think extra few weeks will help to give that reset for everyone to have access to said information. Just last week, to support those efforts, my office did publish a FAQ sheet to respond to some of those questions and misunderstandings that we've been fielding. This FAQ sheet went out to residents, also in my newsletter on Friday, and I'll make sure to send this to the clerks as well to make sure it's included in the LIMS file. I'll also take this opportunity to set the record straight on a couple of things that's also included in the FAQ sheet. For instance, I've heard a lot around, does historic designation prevent interior repairs? I want to note it does not prevent interior repairs. It only applies to exterior features, and it's not a reason for interior repairs to be delayed or denied. And I know this came up during the Historic Preservation Commission meeting, where after significant public testimony from residents, commissioners themselves had to clarify that point of misinformation around, this could cause delays and repairs, especially type of maintenance repairs that were highlighted during that testimonial period. And those are completely unrelated to the historic designation that's being considered to this body or before this body, and also should not be used by MPHA as a reason to deny or delay repairs. Those things they can do. Also, historic designation does not necessarily prevent exterior renovations, demolitions, or construction of new units. This has been a big topic of conversation and also lots of misinformation surrounding that. In fielding information from our experts at the city level, also amongst the commission itself, it's very clear that buildings that receive historic designation can still be considered for significant alteration or renovation. This is information that's presented on the website, the city's website. And any proposal to renovate or alter a historic building would be reviewed by the city's historic preservation staff or the Historic Preservation Commission. And if that was appealed, it would then be voted on by council. So historic designation does not prevent or guarantee that any particular type of renovation will or will not occur. Also, during the last decade of conversations about historic designation, MPHA has not made a specific proposal on how they would like to redevelop Glendale to house more families. That is something that we would love to see. But if Glendale does receive historic designation, MPHA, once again, can still propose significant redevelopment, and that can include a proposal to demolish or significantly renovate some, or if not all, the townhomes that's included in the property to create more density. So this is all information that's, once again, in the FAQs in terms of what this process actually entails, and hopefully this will allow council members to have a more accurate and informed conversation or debate on this item should that postponement be approved, and we would then take this up at full council on June 5th. So just wanted to provide that clarity.
There is no one else left on queue. I did want to acknowledge that we've been joined by Vice Chair Chowdhury. Next up, we have the Climate and Infrastructure Committee. I'll pass it to the chair of the committee, Councilmember Cashman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Climate and Infrastructure Committee is bringing forward 8 items. Item 1 is passage of an ordinance related to events at outdoor stadiums. Item 2 is adopting the Stormwater Management Program and 2024 Annual Report. This item was sent forward without recommendations so that I could have some conversations with staff about our capacity to submit recommendations through this as well to the MPCA. Item 3 is project approval and adopting assessments for the Columbus Park Alley Reconstruction Project. Item 4 is approving a large block event permit for Art-A-Whirl this weekend. Item 5 is approving a block permit for the Rise and Remember Festival. Item 6 is approving a block permit for the annual Saloon Pride Block Party. Item 7 is an agreement with the Bassett Creek Watershed Management Commission for a floodplain and stormwater management study. And item 8 is concurring with the city engineer's request for a variance from MnDOT for improvements to the 9th and 10th Street corridor. I will stand for questions.
Thank you. No one is on queue, and I also want to acknowledge that we've been joined by Councilmember Palmisano. And lastly, we have the Public Health and Safety Committee with the Vice Chair of that committee, Councilmember Wansley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Public Health and Safety Committee will be bringing forward 2 items. The first is authorizing a MOU with Hennepin Healthcare to utilize space in the Lake Street Safety Center. And the second is approving appointments to the Community Commission on Police Oversight. So with that, I will stand for any questions on those items.
Thank you. No one is on queue. And with that, we only have one agenda item today, that being the closed session. And before I move to close that meeting, I'll recognize City Attorney Anderson to provide a legal basis for the requested closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, council members. The next item on the agenda is the case of the United States of America versus City of Minneapolis, 25 CV 00048. Your lawyers wish to discuss with the council litigation strategy in this matter. Accordingly, under the Minnesota Open Meeting Law, Minnesota Statutes, Section 13D.05, Subdivision 3B, the council may, upon a proper motion, close the meeting for the purposes of attorney-client communication as permitted by the attorney-client privilege. In considering the motion, the council should weigh the right of the public to know what its government is doing against the need of the city to preserve the confidentiality of its discussions with its attorneys.
Thank you, City Attorney Anderson. I move that our public meeting be closed as authorized under the provisions of the Open Meeting Law, specifically Minnesota Statute Section 13D.05, for the purpose of receiving a briefing on the litigation matter listed on the agenda. This item is receiving a briefing related to the United States Department of Justice versus the City of Minneapolis and the Minneapolis Police Department. Before I ask for a second, I want to acknowledge that we've been joined by Councilmember Ellison. May I have a second on the motion?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? That carries, and we will now close the public portion of our meeting and convene in closed session. For the viewing public, I will note that the broadcast of this meeting will continue, and the Committee of the Whole will reconvene in public after we have concluded the closed session. Thank you. 1 minute warning. Oh, this is. All right, the time is now 2:41 p.m. and the Committee of the Whole has reconvened in open session. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll to prove the presence of a quorum.
Councilmember Payne.
Present.
Walmsley.
Present.
Rainville.
Present.
Vita.
Present.
Ellison is absent. Osman.
Present.
Cashman.
Present.
Jenkins.
Present.
Chukchai.
Present.
Koski.
Present.
Palmasano.
Present.
Vice Chair Chowdhury.
Present.
And Chair Chavez.
Present.
There are 12 members present.
Let the record reflect that we have a quorum. With that, colleagues, we've concluded all business to come before the committee today. And hearing no, I also want to acknowledge Councilmember Ellison's presence. Okay, with that, we've concluded all business to come before the committee today. And hearing no objection, I'll declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you.